Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Welcome to online class 10th standard supplementary reader. The story of Mulan. No children, you all will love story, I know that. Story telling, even grandmother will be telling in your family, and sometimes when you go to sleep you will be asking your father, mother and everybody. And storytelling is, listening is very nice, I know that. And what is the drawback of it is, when you are listening or hearing a story, you will be sleeping. That is also will be taking place. So here this story, I will just give the gist and we will go for that. Here the story of a Mulan. Mulan is a girl, she is a Chinese girl. You know, in China there was a war broke out, and when war broke out, what had happened? Each person from a family have to go for a war. The leader, you know, that emperor of that country had announced that each person from a family must go for a war. And once it started like that, actually Mulan's family, father was old and very sick person, and she was a young age, and she has a brother and who is too small and he can't go for fight. And father decided to go for a war. And what Mulan had done, Dad, you just wait, I will get a tea for you. And she brought a tea, and she went and cut her hair, and she just dressed herself the dress of her father's and started taking sword and said, Dad, I am just going for the war. When emperor, each person have to go, I am going. You know that in China it is not easy that a woman goes for a fight, they will not accept. You know, women will be not given such importance, only male will be given importance in that nation. So here that country, and the emperor or somebody comes to know that a woman is going for war, it will be a big problem. So let us see what the problem there and how successful she is. Let us see in this lesson. The story of Mulan. This is a classic story of a Mulan based on the legend of Mulan. A legend is a story from long ago that is believed to be true or mostly true. You know, it is a legend. You know, sometimes they will be telling stories to others and the one generation to the other generation, and when they come to hear this all, then there will be a nice thing, and it will be true or false, we don't know, but it is a legend. It had been told by the other generation to the other generation, and it reached and it had been as a story for us. So a legend is a story from long ago that is believed to be true, or mostly true. It is mostly true. So let us see. Many years ago, China was in the middle of a great war. The emperor said that one man from each Chinese family must leave his family to join the army. Mulan, a teenage girl who lived in a faraway village of China, heard the news when she was outside washing clothes. So it is very clear what the first paragraph tells you. Many years ago, long ago, once upon a time, China was in the middle of a great war. China was having a war, and it is the middle of a great war. The emperor said that one man from each family, so one man from each family, the emperor given an advertisement, and they were just told that one man from each family must go for a fight. So here this was heard by a teenage girl who was washing the clothes outside. So it is very clear, children? Okay. Mulan ran into the house. Her father was sitting in a chair carving a piece of wood. Father, she said, did you hear what the emperor says? Each family must do. So now Mulan ran fast to her father, leaving all the cloths there. Father was sitting and carving. He was an old man and he was doing something with the wood. No, carving work he was doing and sitting and doing. And Mulan went and asked, Dad, you know what is the announcement given by the emperor? So father said, yes, I know. Let me see what she is telling. Yes, said her old father, I heard about it in town. Well, I may as well go pack up. He put down his carving stool up and walked very slowly to his room. So what had happened? He left the thing there down, work what is doing, and he said, okay, let me go and start let me have my pack sack and let me pack my things and let me go for the war. She want to, as a male he have to go, so he can't send his young child, and Mulan was a female and she also can't go. So father decided, even he is old and sick, he decided to go. And let me see what had happened. Wait, said Mulan, father, you have not been well, if I may say so. Why at your age must you keep up with all those young men? So now she says, you are already old and you are sick, and this age and sickness, how you will go and fight with the young men? So it is a problem for you. So she was asking her father. Then father is asking, what else can be done? Said her father. Your brother is a child, he can't go. So father was very much worried. He can't send a woman and he can't send his son also. His son is very young and he is too old and sick, and so he decided, let me go. But she is asking, how will you fight with them? How can you go and fight in this old age with that young men? So she asks and she says, and she decided a thing. Of course that's true, said Mulan. He is too little, but I have an idea. So now Mulan tells his father, Dad, I am having an idea. What is that? So what is that idea? She poured her father a cup of tea and handed it to him. Father, have some tea. Please sit for a minute. I will be right back. So what she had done, she made a tea for her father and she handed over the tea and she told her father to take rest in a chair, and meanwhile she will be coming. And you know that as a female she decided something. Let us see what important decision she had taken. Very well, dear, said the father. Mulan went into her room with her sword. She cut off her long black hair. She put on her father's robe. Going back to her father, Mulan said, look at me. I am your son now. I will go in your place. I will do my part for China. So she is a very patriotic and a lovable daughter. She was just telling. She went. You know that as a female, if you have a long hair, you will not cut. You will be saying that, oh, I want that for my beauty. But as a patriotic, as a lovable daughter, she took a sword and she went inside the room and she cut her hair, and then she wore her father's dress and she came back to father as a male, and she was telling to her father, now you decided, you see me, I am not a girl anymore, I am a boy, I am your son and I am going for the war. So she decided like that. So for what father is saying, no father will like a daughter or a son or daughter facing the trouble, no. So that to a daughter, if she comes to know that truth to everybody, it will be a problem for her. So father was saying, no, my daughter, said the old man, you can't do this. So he is saying, the old man is saying, no, my daughter, you can't do this. If you do this, you will get some problem. No, you must not do that. So father was just telling. Let me see. So you can see Mulan how she is dressed up. You know, she is a female, but she dressed herself as a male and she want to go for a war. Father, listen please, said Mulan. For years you trained me in Kung Fu. You showed me how to use a sword. Mulan swung the sword back and forth with might. So father, she was telling, Father, listen. Don't do anything like that. Listen, please listen. You taught me how to fight. So you taught me Kung Fu, and you know, I know how to use sword, you taught me. So that will help me to fight in that. So you don't worry about it. So she took the sword and she was showing how swung and showed back and forth with a might. So only so that you could stay safe, said her father. I never meant you to go to war. If they find out you or your women, you know as well as I do that you will die. So what is saying that? See here, listen my dear daughter, you must not go. I taught you because to safeguard yourself. As a woman you have to safeguard, so I taught that to you. It is not to send you for the war. If you go for a war, once somebody saw you or you get caught, You also will die and I also will die. It will be a problem. So the father is saying, no one will find out, father, said Mulan. She picked up a sword. Don't worry, father, no one will see, and if they saw only, it will be a problem. So she took the sword and picked up her sword and she was moving. Mulan, said the father. He tried to get up but had to hold on to his chair. So here he was trying to get, and she was making him to sit on the chair, and she had not sent her father. Instead of her father, she went for the war. The daughter kissed him goodbye. I love you, father, she said. Take care of yourself. Tell my brother I said goodbye. She climbed on a family horse and off she went to join the emperor's army. Know that she bid a goodbye to her father, and she told to say goodbye to his brother also. She conveyed that she had went. That message must be conveyed to her brother also. And she, in a family horse, she just sat back and just went to the emperor where the soldiers are to be joined. In the army, Mulan proved to be a brave soldier. So she is very, very courageous and fought with the enemies, and she proved that she is no way unequal to a male. She is equal to them, and she fought in such a way with the brave and courage and boldness. And so in a time she was put in charge of other soldiers, her battles went so well that she was put in charge of more soldiers. Her battle kept on going well. After a few years, Mulan was given the top job. She would be a general of the entire army. First, she was going and fighting. When she was fighting with them, a small group was given, and she was doing very well. Nobody knows that she is a female, and she was fighting well. So again, few more are being added in her group. At last, the top post was given to her in the army, and she was fighting, and nobody knows she was a female. Not long after, a very bad fever swept through the army. So they fought, they won, they saved the nation, but suddenly what had happened? So there was a disease. There was a disease, and there was a fever, very bad fever swept through the army. Many soldiers were sick, and Mulan, the general of the army, became sick too. So all the soldiers become sick of fever, and you know that army general also will be getting. So she also got fever. When the doctor came out of the Mulan's tent, she knew the truth. The general is a woman, held the soldiers. How can this be? Some called out, she tricked us, and we will not fight for a woman, they said. Punish her, make her pay, the cost is for her to die. But others called out in voice just as, you come to know that the truth, that as a woman she had cheated. As a woman she had cheated, it had been a big thing. All the army members, they have parted in, some army members said she must be punished, she must be given severe punishment, death must be given, she must die because she had cheated. And some were saying as a woman she had fought for us, because of her only we won the nation, so there must not be anything. So there was a confusion there, and when the doctor went, they found out that she was no more a male, she was a female, and she was an army general, was not a male, she was a female. And there was so much of problems. Let's see what are the problems she faced and how she come out of it. Lord, with Mulan, we win every battle, they said. Stay away from our general. Just then a soldier ran up. Everyone he called, a surprise attack is coming. So now what had happened? Few general, they were going to attack the general because she had cheated, and they are not ready to be under female general to fight. And when some were ready to attack her, some soldiers were going and protecting her. Because of her only we have won the thing, so no more attack must take place, you must be alive. So there were some people who were supporting her and some are opposing her. Mulan heard what she had heard. Just then a soldier ran up, one of the soldier was running up to her, and she was, everyone he called, a surprise attack is coming, now a surprise attack is going to come, how we are going to protect our nation. So that was the thing. Mulan heard this from inside a tent. So this, she was sick and she was lying, and this was heard to Mulan. She got dressed and went outside. She was not yet strong, but stood tall. She told the soldiers where they must go to hide so they could attack when the enemy came, but they must get there fast. The soldiers, even those who did not like that their general was a woman, could tell the Mulan knew what she was talking about. So now she came and she was telling they have to go and hide themselves in a safe place so that suddenly they can attack when they come. So even the person who liked her and who had not liked her, they obeyed as a general and they went, and the emperor was, it worked, and the idea of Mulan worked. The battle was won. It was such a big victory. So they got a big victory, and that the enemies gave up at last. At last the enemies gave up and they surrendered themselves. The enemies surrendered to them and they won over the war. The war was over and China was saved. The war was got over and China was saved. You can be sure that after the last battle, no one cared anyone that Mulan was a woman. So before there was a fight and so many talk was there, but after they won and the nation had got the war, no soldiers were just talking about that she was a woman. The emperor was so glad that Mulan had ended the long war. He set aside the rule about being a woman. Mulan, stay with me in the palace, he said. Someone as smart as you would be a fine royal advisor. So the emperor was very happy that the nation saved, and he was happy and peace, and the women Mulan was fighting, and as she had cheated, even that was not taken as big issue. The emperor was very happy, very glad, so he had accepted that, and he was asking Mulan to stay with him in the palace. He said, someone as smart as you would be a fine royal advisor. So what the emperor was saying, no punishment was given. Instead of that, he was emperor was telling to her that you can be an advisor for me in this council, so you can join in the emperor as a advisor. Mulan bowed deeply. You are too kind, sir. So Mulan was saying that, Emperor, sir, you were very kind to me. You are so kind. But if you please, what I wish most of all is to return home to my family. So I don't want to be an advisor here. I am sorry for that. I want to go and live with my family members. My old father is there and little brother is there. I have to take care of him. So please leave me. So she was requesting the thing. And so yeah, the emperor also was happy to leave her. Then at least take these fine gifts. So here he is saying, okay, no problem. If you are not staying, no, it's not as an advisor, no problem. At least take a gift. And the emperor had given a gift to her. Then at least take this fine gift, said the emperor. So everyone at your home and village will know how much the emperor of China think of you. So here he was saying, so everyone at your home and village will know how much the emperor of China thinks of you. So as a leader, as a king, the emperor, how he has given importance for that. So that must be known to others. So take this gift. So Mulan returned to her village with 6 fine horses. So she got 6 fine horses and 6 fine swords. Everyone cheered that she was safe. The person who had saved China was their very own Mulan. So everyone in the village, when she goes, she got 6 horses and 6 swords as a gift from the emperor, and everyone in the village cheered and felt very happy that such a lady, that a girl, young girl who fought and saved the whole nation. So the people of that village were very happy and felt very proud and pride that she was the person who had done. Okay, thank you children. We will meet you in the next class.